Hey, welcome to Undeniable, where today I get to sit with multi-award winning, multi-hyphenate creative Jamal Hodge. Let's get into it. I knew that stalking you would pay off.
What's going on here? You in love with me or something? What's going on?
Anyway, the world is truly a better place because you are in it. Your impact is undeniable. Hi, Jamal.
Hey, silky.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm alive. You know what I'm saying? I'm still fat, but I'm losing weight.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm enjoying life. You know, I'm out here working with you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's exciting.
Well, I don't know anything about all that fat talk. I know you look great to me.
I'm just fishing for compliments. I just want to hear it.
Okay,
say it again.
You look great to me, and I'm excited to be sitting here with you.
I'm excited to be sitting here with you.
Thank you so much for being here. I mean, y'all don't know how much this means to me. This man is super busy, and he found time for little old me, so I do not take that for granted. Thank you for being here. For those of you who don't know him, this man, let me tell you a little bit about him. He dope. Okay. Let me get into it. This bio. Jamal Hodge is a multi-award-winning filmmaker and writer from Queens. That's where Nas is from. And he has won over 80 awards with screenings at Tribeca, Sundance, Cannes, and others. Now that's just enough right there. But I'm gonna keep going. All right. He directed the first season of Investigation Discovery Channel's Primal Instinct and is a producer on the animated feature film Pierre and the Pigeon Hawk. I want to see that. Now that's starring Jennifer Hudson, Snoop Dogg, Whoopi Goldberg. Those are some names.
Jennifer Coolidge, a bunch of people in it.
Hodge is also a director on the PBS docuseries Southern Storytellers and Madness in Writers, The Untold Truth, maybe. As a writer, Jamal's an active member of the Horror Writers Association and the SFPA, being nominated for the 2021 and 2022 Riesling Awards. While his poem Colony placed second at the 2022 Dwarf Stars, making him the first black poet to place in the history of the competition. Amazeballs. His inaugural poetry collection, The Dark Between the Twilight, has been published by Crystal Lake Publishing for a 2024 release. You have work featured along with Stephen King.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the collection with the amazing editor Michael Bailey. He put together Kyle Matt 5. I recommend everybody buy it. I mean, it's based around a lot of things to do with the pandemic and social things that was going on in that era, like the social horror of that.
Okay.
But also social revelation. So it might have been too soon to release it when it came out for most people. But I think now going into next year and stuff like that, I think as more time goes on, the book is going to become more and more relevant.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to everything that you do. What I really want to know is, with all of that you have going on, has this, when you were younger, did you see this for yourself? Has this always been your dream? How did Jamal Hodge become?
A lot of suffering, insecurity, and doubt.
Okay.
Across a lifespan of pain and suffering.
Okay.
I've just discovered joy during the pandemic.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because there was nobody around when I looked outside. It made me happy. I'm being stupid.
Of course.
Be dramatic. That's what we directors do sometimes. Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, I kind of always knew that I was a storyteller when I was a kid.
Okay.
I've always had a curiosity. I'm a very curious person.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I say Curious George, but that's a little racist. You can't call a black guy Curious George. Got fucked up. But I've always been a very curious person.
Okay.
I've always been interested in human stories, and I've always been interested in paradoxes.
Okay.
I didn't understand it until I got older.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like a truth seeker.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with the truth.
Okay.
But I find that every truth at its core is a paradox.
Gotcha.
So it's very interesting. It's kind of like the ultimate. Everything simple is complex.
Mm-hmm.
Everything complex is simple.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's always that dynamic based on your own personal experience, and then the truth that doesn't care if you accept it or not. It just is. But yeah, I've been obsessed with that. I was homeless a while as a kid. Went through the shelter system. Been in gangs. Been in the Scared Straight program.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Been in. Then I was in like the film. I got introduced to film, and that kind of really changed my life.
Okay.
Did a 2-year program, Pro TV. It was the most decorated program in the country for documentary, and we learned everything: how to shoot, edit, stuff. I was editing tape to tape decks and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a little up there in age. I'm just black as fuck, so people can't tell. You know what I mean? I'm over here looking like
You're well preserved. We'll say that.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Definitely appreciate that.
Yes.
Now, as a writer, did you like come out of the womb with crayons? Like,
Yeah, I'm one of those. I've been trying to avoid saying it, so people are gonna be like, I'm even more of an asshole. But yeah, I've always been a writer my entire life. But by the time I was 16, writing it was my only refuge from the horrible situations I was in, because I grew up like in the Martinique Hotel, which was the worst hotel shelter in New York at the time. So I've done seen everything. I've seen rapes in front of me, people getting stabbed in the head, all types of crazy shit was going on in there, right? When I was a little kid. So the only way to escape the horrors was to write. Go write other worlds, go to other places. I was like the only black dude I knew in the hood that had a telescope. People used to think I was a pervert. I used to be looking at the stars. They thought I was looking at some ass. And you know what I mean? I was also like I used to read a lot of nerdy, geeky shit that I used to have to hide from my boys, like not Dungeons and Dragons. Was it Dungeons and Dragons? I think it was Dungeons and Dragons. Not the game, but this by Wise and thing. I used to read all Dragonlance. It was. I used to read the Dragonlance novels. I used to read comics. Most directors who are good in their composition, they all grew up reading comics. Because comics, your brain, your imagination fills up the panels, the motion, the frames that are missing. So it makes you really good as a filmmaker and know how to structure and compose your shots.
Okay.
Almost every director, you talk to them and you like their visual style, usually they grew up reading comics of some sort. I was always a writer. I always loved writing. Writing helped me in the darkest times of my life. By the time I was 16, I had written about 12 novels in my hand. I used to be able to write a book in a week, hand-wise. And if you can read legible, I can't do that anymore. But that's how much into it I was. I've always been into story, and I did documentary for many, many years with John Oppert and them at DCTV. The Renault brothers, God rest burn soul. A lot of people poured into me. I couldn't see it at the time, but there's a lot of people that informed my art. People that were in my life and people who were just being the best that they could be in their own life.
Yeah.
That I never met, but I've seen their work, and their work has taught me the power of storytelling and how stories shape reality. The human soul, the human identity is just a composition of stories. And it's kind of like even your mental health is connected to the story you tell yourself about yourself or about others, about the world.
Very true.
So stories are so powerful because stories are what shapes reality.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. And I'm right there with you. Writing has always been very therapeutic for me. Writing has got me through some things. So I definitely get
You're
that.
a really good writer. I enjoy your work.
Did y'all hear that? He said it. Okay. I'm moving on.
You have a realness that really engages audiences. And some people, they think that writing is about being clever, but it's not. I could give the secret to being a good writer. Besides just getting to the end in your first draft, not caring about anything, don't care if it's good, and don't look backwards, only look forward. Get that first draft done, and then go back and then start adding mind to it. But besides that, the thing that makes someone a good writer or a good artist in general is your ability to be vulnerable enough to have the courage, because everything starts with courage. So it's courage to be vulnerable enough to tell your truth. Because the things that are most personal are the most universal. So all the things that we hide or that we're embarrassed about are the things that are actually most common in the human experience.
Okay.
And then when you add that in there, so many people be like, yeah, I'm going through that. Yeah, I've been through that. Happened to me too. Almost anything that you think is really private or scary or makes you scared or seems super personal, if you just in a room full of people and you say, God, this happened to me and I'm feeling a certain type of way, so many other people will be like, yeah, I went through that, or I'm going through that right now myself.
Yeah.
It's shocking how much you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's all about having the courage to tell the truth. And if you can do that as a writer, and no matter people agree with you or not, that's not the point. It's just the matter that you have a strong position, a strong stance that you engage with both your mind and your heart.
Okay.
Because a lot of times people, they try to engage things with only their mind, because that's what's popular now.
Okay.
But that's just, the mind is just the frame of the car, but the heart is the engine. It took me forever to realize this. I just kept on trying to build a stronger and stronger car, but the engine was weak.
Yeah.
And then I had to go through a major breakdown when I turned 30. And then I went on a spiritual journey for like about 8 years. And that kind of changed me and gave me these insights. But I would say, yeah, just make sure you're combining the heart with the head. If you can combine the heart with the head, and then you can be brave. Just always be brave as an artist. Always be brave. Don't try to be politically correct. Don't worry about the outcome. Start out with courage. You start anything with courage, because ultimately art, we're teaching people how to be brave enough to face life.
Yeah.
Because life is fucking terrifying when you think about it. It's terrible. Without art, without stories, we're all dead from the moment we're born. There's no hope in living without them. It's just staying alive long enough until you die anyway. So it's like stories, they give us hope of something more. They give us meaning for this process beyond the inevitable. So everything starts with courage.
Okay.
So that's what I would say. Anybody listening at home, listen to my bullshit. Just be brave. Then be vulnerable. Then be honest.
We talked a little bit about pain and struggle. How did what you went through shape you as an artist, as a writer, as a director?
Well, as an artist, it's made me kind of a sick fuck. But if you've ever seen any of my films,
I love morning meal.
I'm not all there, but I like to put that out there too. You know what I mean? Lets it stay in me, and I start doing things. And I'd be like, having these interviews with you behind the cage with a fucking muzzle on my face. But I would say, yeah, I was for a while, it made me dark, really dark. I mean, I am dark, but you know what I mean. Dark as fuck, but But then what it did was did the opposite. It made me understand the power of, people hate this word, but submission to universal laws and truths. Because I realized from dealing with pain for so much of my life, being depressed for most of my life, actually not realizing that I was depressed at all until I wasn't. And I was well into adulthood by then. I just realized that Your relationship to pain is the most important relationship that you can have in life because it's the one thing in life that connects all creatures.
Mm.
No matter how successful anybody looks or what they've achieved, everybody on this planet has to deal with suffering.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable. And because of that, that means everybody deserves compassion.
Mm.
You know? And that means that it's always something that you have in common with any individual, any creature that you meet on this planet. And that when it comes to submission, it's a bad word, especially in our community. Right, sister?
Shut up. Jamal, don't start with me.
Right, my sister? No. But there's so much power in accepting the truth of a situation and making it work for you.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to harness universal law is to submit to those forces. And it's kind of like instead of trying to swim upstream and resist, because most suffering comes from resistance.
Mm.
It's your inability to accept reality or admit that something has happened in the past, thinking you can change or rewrite the past. Keep on looking backwards instead of where you're standing right now or forward.
Mm-hmm.
The more your mind lingers on what can't be changed or what can't be fixed, and the more you resist that and resist that and resist that, the more you suffer.
Damn.
So the quicker you can let those things go, the quicker you're free.
Wow.
So so a lot of times having that mindset is a way of becoming free. The stream pulls you along, but then at a while the waters get calm, and then you can control which direction you go.
Okay.
But if you're always trying to swim upstream, you just get exhausted and you drown.
Mm.
So that's kind of like what I learned from pain. I realized to be free, the only way to be free of suffering is not to try to get away from it.
Okay.
It's to sit down in the fire, accept it, and laugh anyway. When you can laugh, when you can be happy while you're in pain, that's the only time when you're truly free. But if you need to get away from the pain to be happy, then you're not truly free because the pain goes find you again.
Okay. So would you basically say that the drive for success or wanting to be successful kind of pulled you out of some of those dark times?
No, that wouldn't be accurate.
Okay.
The drive for revenge pulled me out of that
Okay.
because I was angry as fuck.
Oh.
And I just wanted to win
Okay.
because I felt like I didn't matter. So it was all dark emotions that got me through that, but it was positive emotions that gave those things meaning later on in life.
So Jamal,
That's okay.
when people say your name, when they think about you, what do you want those thoughts to be? What feeling do you want them to have when they think about you?
My master. No, imagine some Dark City shit. No, he was the crispiest guy, that kid.
Is that
He was the blackest guy that ever says kindness. No. No, I want them to think that here's someone. This is someone who's walked a journey, and whether I come out on top or not, he walked a journey. He believed, and oddly enough, he made us better. I think my call in life is to be an enhancer of others through my art, through my experiences, through my victories and defeats. For those willing to those that vibrate on the same frequency that I do, I want to just, because I'm not for everybody. Shit, I'm not even for most people. But for the people that I do resonate with, I want them to see someone. I want them to see themselves. and hopefully my victories can inspire them, and my failures could inform them.
Mm.
So that's what I want people to think. I know it's longer than probably what you thought, but that's really what I want people to think. I want my life to be a message
Mm.
to the betterment of the individual that is striving to be their best.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I think that's amazing. Well, I think good things when I think about you most of the time. Sometimes it's,
I'm losing my touch.
But I will certainly tell you why I asked you here today.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jamal.
What's going on here? You in love with me or something? What's going on?
Anyway.
So got a whole letter?
From the moment I met you, I knew you were someone I needed to know. You exude confidence, leadership, and being your brother's keeper. You're an amazing writer, poet, director, and overall dope dude. You inspire me with your ambition and loyalty to your team. You are a blunt truth teller with a passion for tough love. Your creativity motivates me to expand my way of thinking, and I appreciate what you bring to my life and to the culture. You are absolutely undeniable to me. Do you accept?
Yes. I mean, if anybody says anything with a voice like that, of course I'll accept it.
Whatever.
But yeah, no, that's really good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Like, it means so much. You have to tell people how they can follow you, stalk you, find you, because y'all want to know what's going on with Jamal.
Does anybody even check these things when people say this shit? People just black out at this point. Right. I'll give it. You can follow me at www.writerhodge.com. Or you can check me out on Instagram at Director H. So I think there's other things, but I think those two are the most solid ways to see what I'm up to. So thank you guys. Hopefully I didn't bore you with my Black Yoda shit.
Mm-hmm. You were absolutely fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I had a great time sitting here with you. And there's so much more that I want to learn about him, so I might, ask some more questions as soon as I turn this camera off. But thank you all so much for tuning in, and until next time. Life is about choices and how you handle your pain. I allowed pain to push me into addiction that nearly ended my life. And it wasn't until I made the choice to love me that I found a way out. I had to turn my pain into power and realize that the possibilities are endless when you choose real love over temporary highs. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Yay, we did it! Yeah, this is yours. I give people souvenirs.